The footage was only 47 seconds long, but by the time it ended, 3 grown men refused to ever enter that church again. The video begins with a shaky flashlight beam cutting through darkness, revealing the inside of an abandoned church somewhere in rural England. A cracked stone floor, broken pews, dust floating like ash in the air. And then, right at the back, near the altar, something moves. At first, it looks like a shadow. Then it looks directly at the camera. I'm telling you this because I was the one holding the camera. My name is Daniel Moore, and I never believed in ghosts. Not really. I believed in trespass warnings, collapsing roofs, and mold-induced hallucinations. That's why, when my friend Ethan suggested exploring St. Mary's Chapel, an abandoned church outside a village called Hollowbrook, I agreed without hesitation. The church had been closed for over 60 years. Locals said it was unsafe. Some said it was cursed. Most refused to talk about it at all. That alone made it perfect for Ethan's YouTube channel, which focused on urban exploration and debunking paranormal myths. We arrived just after midnight. The building stood at the edge of a dead field, its stone walls blackened by time and rain. The bell tower leaned slightly, like it was tired of standing. Every window was shattered, except one, high above the altar, still intact, dark, and watching us. Ethan laughed when he noticed it. Creepy aesthetic, he said. Viewers will love this. I wish I had trusted my instinct and walked away right then. The front doors were already open. That should have been our first real warning. Inside, the air was thick and cold, far colder than the night outside. Our footsteps echoed unnaturally, stretching longer than they should have. The pews were overturned, splintered, as if something heavy had been dragged across them again and again. Carvings on the walls had been scratched out. Faces of saints scraped clean, eyes gouged deep into the stone. Vandals, Ethan muttered, filming everything. Probably kids. But kids don't scratch stone like that. We moved toward the altar. That's when we heard the sound. Breathing. Not ours. Slow. Wet. Rhythmic. It came from behind the altar, where the priest's chamber used to be. Ethan froze, his smile fading for the first time. Did you hear that? He whispered. Before I could answer, the breathing stopped. The silence that followed was worse. It felt heavy, pressing against my ears. My flashlight flickered, then steadied. We should have left. Instead, Ethan stepped closer. That's good content, he said quietly. Whatever it is. The door behind the altar creaked open on its own. The room beyond was smaller than I expected. Stone walls. A single wooden chair in the center. And hanging from the ceiling, thick, rusted chains. Ethan's camera caught everything. Then the chair moved. Just an inch. But it moved against gravity, scraping softly across the floor. I felt something brush past my shoulder. Cold. Like fingers made of fog. I spun around, flashlight shaking. Nothing. Behind us, the altar bell rang once. We ran. Our footsteps thundered as we sprinted down the nave toward the exit, but the doors were closed now. The same doors that had been wide open moments ago. Ethan slammed into them, swearing, pulling with all his strength. They didn't budge. That's when I saw it in the camera's screen. Standing between the pews was a figure wearing old priest's robes. The fabric hung wrong, stretched and torn, as if it didn't belong on a human body. Its head was bowed low, face hidden. It wasn't walking. It was gliding. I screamed for Ethan to turn around. He did, and the camera caught the face. There were no eyes. Just deep, hollow sockets, carved. Too large, with dark streaks running down like dried blood. Its mouth was open wider than any human jaw could stretch, frozen in a silent scream. The footage shakes violently as Ethan drops the camera. You can hear him crying, praying, begging. The figure raises one long, thin hand and points, not at us, at the camera. The next sound is a bell ringing over and over, louder each time, until it becomes unbearable. Then the footage cuts to black. We escaped because the doors opened on their own. No one remembers how long we were inside. When we reached the car, it was dawn. Neither of us spoke the entire drive back. Ethan uploaded the footage that night. Within hours, comments flooded in. Viewers pointed out details we hadn't noticed. The figure had appeared earlier, barely visible, standing behind us during the first minute. The breathing had synced perfectly with the bell, even when the bell wasn't ringing. And worst of all, in the final frame before the cut, reflected in the camera lens, there was someone else standing beside the priest. A woman, her mouth sewn shut. The video was removed by YouTube the next day for graphic content. Ethan stopped answering calls after that. A week later, the police found him inside his apartment, sitting in a chair, staring at the wall. He hadn't eaten, hadn't slept. He kept whispering the same sentence again and again. He's still recording. They never found his camera. I tried to move on. Tried to forget. But last night, I received an email with no subject line. Just one attached file. Unsettling footage from an abandoned church in the UK. The video is 47 seconds long. And this time, I'm not behind the camera. I'm standing at the altar.